highlights channel of the Ranveer Show. This is TRS Clips. Are you ready to have a child? Are you ready to exchange 20 years of your life at least for the sake of that one life that you're bringing into the world? 20 years of your life, your consciousness, your life force, your focus, all of which was being put into your career and your self-growth and your relationships and your mom and dad until that point. All of that is going to be fueled into your child. And if you f***ed up in those first 20 years, then you're going to have to fuel it into your child for the rest of that child's life until you die. And it's easy to fuck up raising kids. Maybe for our generation, it might be slightly easier because of the access to information that we had growing up. But yeah, it kind of scares me to think about this phase of having kids, especially when I see the guys around me, the guys I grew up with, having children. These are the guys who we spoke about masturbation to for the first time. The guys I grew up with. I know them from my 6th standard, 7th standard, when you're becoming an adult. That same guy now has a child. Think about this. You won't be able to understand this, boys and girls, unless one of your closest friends in the world or your sibling actually has a kid. And then you see them raising the kid and you realize how much consciousness, time, effort, energy it takes to raise that kid. Parallelly, because of media, I meet so many people who have chosen not to have children in their life. And that seems like a very nice life to me. It seems like a stretched out version of their 20s where they're living for their careers and their partners. Sometimes they're single and they're just living for their careers and their experiences of life or their spirituality or the spirituality. So I see people in their 30s and 40s and 50s who don't have kids, who've consciously taken up that choice, who've adopted that choice consciously. Very seductive version of life. But then for some reason, when I see an infant, I feel like taking care of it. I feel like protecting it. Where the is this paternal instinct coming from? Why is this happening to me at age 30? And it's been happening for the last 2 years. When I see my niece, I feel like if there was a tiger, a bear, a lion, and 15 eagles trying to attack her, I would tear through each one of those animals separately for the sake of my niece. That's how protective I feel about my niece. What am I going to feel about my own kid? I see all my friends who have not had kids at one end of that spectrum and they're happy. Many of them happy. And then I have this urge to have a child myself while knowing fully well that 20 years of my life at least are going to be spent on that child. Maybe this is the solution when it comes to doing something with your own internal romance. The same internal romance that makes you feel like you need a partner. If you're one of those people who goes to Instagram reels which talk about hope, about relationships, the same kind of Instagram reels that I create, because I'm actually talking to myself first and foremost through all forms of content. But if you're someone who's romantic, maybe all your romance is actually supposed to be directed towards a child, as I learned through Neena Gupta on the show, who said that probably love doesn't exist between men and women, but true love exists when it comes to your own children. So is it my romantic heart that actually just wants to experience true love through my own kids? I don't know. But I do know that I will take a step back from my career. Because we were raised by a generation, especially in India, we were raised by a generation that had to really struggle to earn money, that had to really struggle to build their careers because of pre-1990s India, when the economy liberalized. A lot of the professional opportunity that we see around us is because of that phase. We're not going to make this an economic special. We're talking about practical life. I feel our parents had to struggle a lot to make money. They weren't able to take those step backs in their career. I've worked like a through my 20s. I'm still working like a pre-marriage. But my point is, once I have kids, I will ensure that my weekends are given to my kids. I will ensure that massive chunks of my day are given to my kids. And I will ensure that I'm a very present father because I do feel that in the modern day, with modern day problems related to social media and screens and mental health generally, a strong father figure is very, very important when it comes to creating responsible and balanced adults of the future. If you're creating a child, you owe it to the same earth that nurtured you to ensure that that child grows into being a responsible adult and not just carries your legacy forward, but helps in improving humanity in the same way that you've tried to improve humanity, if you've tried to improve humanity at all, in your own little way. That could be through charity, sustainable living, etc., etc. I can go on about that, but we're talking about children here. If you want to become a parent, be a responsible parent. That's what I'm telling myself, which is why I'm working extra hard right now, but I am confused about it. I'm a little scared. And at the same time, fatherhood seems to be the goal, because all the fathers that I've had on the show have said that there's no feeling like holding your own child. Is it just my human soul that wants to experience that experience of holding your own child, raising your own child, etc.? Is it a biological instinct? I don't know. That's the point of these solo podcasts. There's a lot of I don't know tangents where I'm just trying to speak through my heart. These are playlists made especially for you. We've tailor-made learning experiences for you on TRS Clips.